You see, when we often think of failure, we think of fear of various things, or fear of judgment, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, we got to realize that in order to succeed and get to where we want to go at the end of the day, we got to go through failure. It's an inevitable part of the process. Whether, when we started from when you first learning, like me, being on YouTube, all the process that we got to do when 30 hats, thumbnails, SEO, video editing, all this stuff. And we pretty much either were self-taught, some of us might have went to school, or we jumped on YouTube University, and that became our school. We just study. And we began to fail. And then eventually our work got good, or we didn't think our work was good. And when people see our work, they like, damn, like, dude, how'd you learn how to do this? Or, shorty, like, how you get so nice at this? And then you see your own work, and you are comparing yourself to people who have been doing it way longer than you, experts. And you might not be an expert, but you might be a novice, or you might be at medium level, but you don't even realize what level you are at, because you constantly focusing and worried about the failure, and what do people think of this, what do people think of that. You're just overthinking the process, and at the end of the day, it's gonna mess you up. But before I proceed on to the next point, let's eat my 2 burgers. Then the next thing we do, we have all these self-sabotaging thoughts. We think, what if I'm gonna fail? What if nobody's gonna like it? What are people gonna think of me? What if I put this out, nobody buys it or likes it? What do people see this at my job? There's just so many questions. I go on and on for days. There's be thousands and thousands of questions. But at the end of the day, the fact remains, really, people don't care as much as you think they care. This shit is all in your head. You're making it up. And you just got to get past those fears. I know sometimes it can be paralyzing, but you can't just be paralyzed with fear, because you paralyzed with fear, you will never ever do anything that you set out to do in life and to hit your goals. And personally, one of the things I feared the most was failure. I was always afraid to fail. When thinking about it, that shouldn't have been my mindset. I always been the type of person that, I always do tons of research, and I want to look into the things and, just not want to jump head first into it. But that's good. But sometimes I would get stuck in analysis paralysis and never make the move to do what I needed to do. So I just had to eventually just sometimes, jump straight into it or do my little research. But I gotta start putting it in motion, even if it's not perfect. I gotta get the shit moving. I gotta get the ball rolling. I gotta get it rolling. And there's so many famous people in the world. Like, let's take the guy from Squid Games. This guy who put that show out, his script was turned down multiple times. If this guy would have gave up, he would have never had the most popular show on Netflix. So that goes to show you that even when somebody don't think your idea is good, or even when you don't think your idea is good yourself, if you just keep trying and keep putting it out there, it just may not be your time. That happens too. Timing is all about timing. But when everything lines up, with the stars align, it's just nothing that can stop you, and you're gonna hit the goal or the endeavor that you're trying to reach. Shout out to My Hero Academia. And learning from failure is more valuable than trying to avoid it, because it tells you what not to do. Think about that. You shouldn't even try to avoid failure, because it's inevitably going to happen, but it's going to teach you what not to do next time. Just speaking from my experience, for me, when I released my clothing brand, I made so many damn dumb-handed mistakes, but now that I'm working on my second drop, I know exactly what to do, because I didn't implement and do the certain things that I did initially when I first started my clothing brand. So now when I'm going through the process, I'm like, oh my God, how did I make this mistake? Or how did I do this? And I'm just taking everything I'm learning personally and the things I learned from online, reading, other brand owners, and it's just making the process so much smoother. So I'm glad I went through those failures, because it's telling me what not to do, and I just know firsthand, like, yeah, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't be doing it. I know I need to focus on this. So when you go through those failures, bruh, let me tell you, it's so much better for you in the long run. All right, before I move on to the next point, let's get in the workout. Currently, I'm redefining what failure means to me. It's not the same thing it used to mean to me back in the day. Right? I'm not afraid of it. I'm going to use it to learn from my mistakes and basically do the things I need to do in order to grow. So whether that's from my YouTube channel or what you're watching now, I appreciate you. Subscribe now, like the video. Thank you very much. For my clothing brand or my government contractor business, I won't ever learn to do better if I don't never learn from my mistakes. Similar to with a kid when they first learn to walk. A kid is never afraid to learn new things and try new things. And when they fail, they're just gonna not do that again, and they're gonna switch it up. So that's the same mentality I gotta use. And at the end of the day, sucking at something is the first step to kind of being sort of good at something. So let me know in the comments what's some things you experienced with failure, what things you're going through now, or or some hurdles that you need to overcome. Drop them in the comments below. And as always, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.